The Galactic Military Academy's combat arena fell silent as the massive containment field flickered to life. Behind the shimmering barrier, something stirred in the shadows, something that made even the battle-hardened Krillian instructors take an involuntary step back. Zara Chen adjusted her academy uniform and cracked her knuckles, seemingly oblivious to the tension radiating from her alien classmates. The 17-year-old human had been at the academy for only 3 months, but she'd already earned a reputation for her unsettling calmness in the face of danger. "Cadet Chen," growled Commander Throck, his 4 arms folded across his chitinous chest. "You stand accused of cheating on your survival examinations. The tribunal has decided that you will face the Academy's ultimate test." A ripple of fear passed through the assembled cadets. Even the normally stoic Valdorians shifted nervously on their 6 legs. The ultimate test was reserved for the most serious infractions, or for those foolish enough to challenge the Academy's authority. "The apex beast of Korvax Prime," Commander Throck continued, his mandibles clicking with barely contained satisfaction. "A creature that has devoured 3 full battalions of seasoned warriors. It knows no fear, shows no mercy, and has never been defeated in single combat." The containment field began to lower, revealing glimpses of something massive moving in the darkness. Red eyes gleamed like molten coals, and the sound of claws scraping against metal sent shivers down alien spines. Zara yawned. "Is this going to take long?" she asked, checking an old-fashioned wristwatch, one of the few Earth artifacts she'd been allowed to bring. "I've got a xenobiology exam in an hour." Commander Throck's eyes blazed with indignation. "You mock the ceremony, human. This beast has—" His words were cut short as the apex beast finally emerged from the shadows. It stood 12 feet tall, its obsidian hide rippling with barely contained muscle. 6 limbs ended in razor-sharp talons, and its serpentine neck supported a head filled with teeth that could shear through battle armor. Acidic saliva dripped from its maw, hissing as it struck the arena floor. The creature's roar shook the entire complex, a sound that had been the last thing countless warriors had heard. Several cadets fainted outright. Zara looked up at the beast, tilted her head thoughtfully, and then laughed. Not a nervous giggle or a hysterical shriek, but genuine delighted laughter that echoed through the arena. "Oh my God," she said, wiping tears from her eyes. "You guys are so dramatic. This is adorable." The apex beast paused mid-roar, clearly confused by this unprecedented reaction. Its massive head swiveled toward Zara, nostrils flaring as it tried to process the scent of someone who showed no fear. "I mean, don't get me wrong," Zara continued, addressing the stunned assembly. "He's very impressive. But honestly, he's got nothing on my girl back home." She turned toward the beast and made a series of clicking sounds with her tongue, followed by what could only be described as a whistle-purr combination. The apex beast's head tilted, its aggression momentarily forgotten. "That's right, big guy," Zara cooed, slowly approaching the creature. "You're just a big predator, aren't you? Probably apex on your world, used to everything running away." Commander Throck found his voice. "Cadet Chen, step back immediately. That creature will—" "Shh," Zara said, holding up a hand without taking her eyes off the beast. "You're scaring him." The impossible happened. The apex beast of Korvax Prime, terror of 3 star systems, lowered its massive head and allowed the small human to scratch behind what might generously be called its ears. A sound rumbled from the creature's throat. Not a roar, but something disturbingly close to a purr. "Good boy," Zara murmured. "See? Humans figured out a long time ago that the biggest, scariest predators usually just want someone to understand them." She turned back to the gaping assembly, one hand still absently stroking the beast's snout. "The thing is," she said conversationally, "Earth is a death world. Like, Seriously, everything there is trying to kill everything else. So humans didn't become apex predators by being the biggest or the strongest. The apex beast settled down beside her like a giant, deadly dog. We became apex predators by being really, really good at making friends with other apex predators, Zara continued. We domesticated wolves into dogs. We made cats love us so much they bring us dead animals as presents. We ride horses, swim with dolphins, and keep sharks in our houses for fun. She gestured to the now docile creature beside her. This guy, he's been alone on his world, probably for his whole life. No pack, no family, no one who understands what it's like to be at the top of the food chain. Of course he's aggressive. He's lonely. The arena remained silent except for the sound of the apex beast's contented rumbling. So, Zara said, checking her watch again, are we done here? Because I really do have that exam and I promised. Rex here that I'd see about getting him a proper enclosure with some enrichment activities. Commander Throck's mandibles worked soundlessly for several moments. Finally, he managed, Rex? Well, he needs a name, doesn't he? Zara said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the galaxy. Can't keep calling him the apex beast. That's just rude. She gave Rex one final pat and started walking toward the arena exit. The massive creature rose and began to follow her, its earlier bloodlust completely forgotten. Oh, and Commander, Zara called over her shoulder. Next time you want to scare a human, maybe don't use something that's obviously just a big, lonely animal. Try a swarm of something small and poisonous instead. We're actually pretty reasonable about those. As she disappeared through the exit, with Rex padding along behind her like an oversized puppy, the assembled cadets began to understand why the galactic community had been so nervous about admitting humans to the Academy. It wasn't because humans were particularly strong or fast or intelligent, though they were certainly competent enough in all those areas. It was because humans had an unnerving tendency to look at the galaxy's most terrifying monsters and see potential friends. And in a universe full of apex predators, that was perhaps the most terrifying superpower of all.